dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, I'm Keaton Hall. Thousands are still without power after recent storms. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox talked to power companies about how they're working to get the lights back on.
Winds reaching 70 miles per hour at times led to trees bringing down power lines to the ground across eastern Kentucky.
When those trees fall, they can be 100 feet in the air. You know, sometimes they're going to fall and hit a line that is in a right of way. So trees falling is a big problem with wind.
Power lines going down can also cause the poles holding them up to snap.
And sometimes we have trees that fall on lines that causes poles to break, and those poles have to be replaced, which is very, very time consuming.
At a certain elevation and height, trees can be a danger from across a road.
A large pine tree has fallen from about 60 to 80 feet away from the power line. The tree was probably 100 feet long, striking the three-phase power line.
Once a storm rolls through, the ground has less strength to battle against wind.
So the wind has, much easier time of blowing those trees over and knocking those limbs down onto power lines.
While companies are working hard to repair damaged power lines, it could be a few days before people see their lights coming back on.
Complete restoration process will take multiple days. Some people will be back on today. We're turning the power on as we speak for other customers, but complete restoration is expected to take a couple of days.
Power company representatives urge customers to stay away from damaged power lines because they could still be active. In Floyd County, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
To find updated power outage numbers, you can go to WYMT.com, where we've got updated figures from each power company in the area. Slowly but surely, Appalachian Power is working to restore power across the region, but in some areas it's going to take a little bit longer than others. For the second time in a week, people who live on Bradley Drive and cross lanes like Beverly Eads were hit hard by wind gusts reaching 50 miles per hour. Eads says she immediately knew something was wrong.
I just heard a thump and my power went out. I walked out here and I saw this tree over the road, which means we can't get in or out. And all the power lines were all the way down, cleared down to the bottom of the hill.
Appalachian Power spokesperson Karen Wissing says they've made significant progress in restoring power and are asking people to remain patient, saying most people should have power restored by Tuesday. A firefighter in Letcher County was injured during yesterday's windstorm. Captain Ricky Simmons was traveling to the site of a vehicle crash on Highway 7 North at around 3 p.m. when a tree fell off the hill and struck the fire truck he was driving. Officials say Captain Simmons received a cut on his head and a concussion. He was taken to the emergency room for his injuries, but thankfully he's back home and doing okay. Skeletal remains were found Friday in a burned out car in Greenup County, state police say. Troopers say this discovery was made around 12:55 p.m. after they were dispatched to assist with a vehicle fire. The incident happened on Saw Pit Road, which is on the Carter County line near State Route 2. Troopers say the incident is being investigated as a suspicious death. Anyone with information is asked to call KSP Post 14 at that number you see on your screen, 606-928-6421. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office is asking for help identifying suspects and locating a stolen dump trailer. This video is from the property of Wildcat Pawn and Gun. The incident happened around 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon on Friday. The owner is offering a $500 cash reward, so anyone with information can contact the Laurel County Sheriff's Office or Kentucky State Police.
Well, we had heavy rain and strong winds yesterday, but thankfully the weather is awesome across the mountains as we close out the weekend. Here's a live look right now over in downtown Somerset in Pulaski County, looking at plenty of sunshine this evening. Current temperature 63 degrees, and most of us in those upper 50s and lower 60s at this hour. 58 for Pikeville, 60 in Jackson, 62 for London, and 61 here in Hazard. The good news up on radar, all is quiet, a clean sweep thanks to high pressure, and that will continue as we go into into tonight. Awesome weather if you want to fire up the grill. We stay dry under a clear sky. Temperatures falling into the upper 50s and lower 60s, and that will continue as we go into tonight as well. However, we are watching out for some rain chances as early as tomorrow and possibly some thunderstorms by Wednesday. All those details coming up in just a little bit. Oh, Keaton.
What were you calling me there? Wow, Cameron, he's gone. We got to remember that. All right, high winds weren't the only challenge some Kentucky Power officials faced during yesterday's windstorm. While out on a service call in Pikeville, a Kentucky Power official snapped this photo of a black bear just feet away. Thankfully, they say no one was hurt, but they say it's just another example of the challenges utility workers and first responders face when responding to emergencies. Over the last few years, we've shared numerous stories on the Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter and their constant battle with overpopulation. And now those with the shelter say the overpopulation is reaching new heights, causing them to turn to the worst case scenarios to make ends meet. WYMT's Alyssa Williams has more.
In the last decade, the Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter in Perry County has managed to drop its euthanizations by more than 90%.
Do we use out-of-state rescues? Yeah, we're one of the most fortunate that has many out-of-state rescues. However, you can't rescue yourself out of a situation that we're in.
The shelter's board president, Tammy Noble, says due to unusually high animal intake, the shelter has had to euthanize more animals in the past 3 months than they usually do in a year's time, often causing young, healthy animals to get euthanized.
You know, if we've had an animal that's here for 2 months, 3 months, then we can't hold that instead of taking in a new animal and euthanizing it. We've given that one more of a chance. Its face has been out there to rescues and it's just not getting out.
And Noble says this issue is only going to get worse.
Spring brings forth new life, and unfortunately that's puppy season and kitten season, and our numbers tend to triple during that time. So obviously if our intake triples, then our euthanasia is going to have to triple also.
Noble says the main way everyone can help this issue is by spaying and neutering their pets, even if they are caged or mostly indoors.
This is not a shelter problem. This is a community problem. We're only trying to clean up a lot of the mess that's out there in the community.
Noble says through options like the shelter's low-cost spay and neuter program, the community can help more animals live out their days with loving families. In Perry County, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Those with the Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter say they're also taking surrendered animals by appointment only to help lessen the number of intakes they have. Fayette County schools will be on spring break this week like many other schools, but one Lexington council member is concerned about how kids will spend their time and where their meals will come from. Council member Tana Fogel wants to make sure those children are fed while schools are closed for spring break. So this week they can receive a hot meal at one of 5 Lexington parks: Castlewood, Charles Young, Winburn, and Dunbar Center. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, there's going to be pizza. Tuesday and Thursday, folks will be grilling hot dogs for the kids. Meals will be served from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. each day.
Not only that, after they eat and play in the park, when they're ready to go home, we will supply them with a bag of goodies, some snacks.
Those goodies are from community donations, and Fogel says they can still use more. They're accepting any snacks or other non-perishable food items at the Northside Library or at any of those 5 parks we mentioned. While the meals are going to be served, Fogel says you can still help feed the kids at FCPS by making a donation to the Catholic Action Center. Many of us know spring is underway, but believe it or not, the pollen season has started as well. But you know that all too well if you suffer with seasonal pollen allergies. But there are some things you can do to diminish the misery. Right now, doctors say trees are already releasing pollen into the air. This will continue into spring, and once May comes, grass begins to process until midsummer. Doctors say you can help yourself with allergies by monitoring pollen counts and taking medication when needed.
It may not cure you or it may not control you, but if you get any relief at all, it'll make a difference. Because people with uncontrolled allergies can't sleep at night and they can't concentrate when they go to work during the day. So they really need to do something.
Dr. Forehand says there's a variety of medications people can take, including allergy pills, shots, and nasal sprays. One Perry County nonprofit offered an opportunity for community members to come together and make downtown Hazard a little more colorful. The Appalachian Arts Alliance held its second National Chalk Day celebration today at the Perry County Farmers Market Pavilion, inviting people of all ages to get creative.
A lot of times you want to go out and do stuff and you have to spend $10 a person or $20 a person, and I just think it's nice to be able to offer something that's free. It's simple, it's easy, there's no pressure to come out to do any of our events. It's just a way to gather around and express yourself and make a community with people. So,
although the organization is celebrating National Chalk Day a day early, those with the Appalachian Arts Alliance hope everyone will continue to take part in the celebration at home, or throughout the community. Coming up at 6, a student athlete protects lives on and off the field. A story of how he saved a life while on vacation and while at school.
And we stay dry to close out the weekend, but we are tracking spotty showers as early as tomorrow. All those details coming up next.